and welcome to a fresh new episode of the First and Last podcast. I'm Joe, and with me today is Jimmy.
What's up?
And no Josh, because he's canceled.
Oh, God.
We'll find out about it later.
Oof.
We'll start taking bets on why you think Josh is canceled. There's a...
No whales.
Yeah, 50-1 odds on whales, but 2-1 odds on just like general assholery.
Oh, man. Straight to the throat.
Yeah. 3-1 odds on he actually is not vaccinated.
Ooh. Yeah, we have a strict COVID protocol here at First and Last, and
it's for the protection of our listeners. We just want to make sure that we don't know enough about this virus. We don't want to expose anybody to any, unnecessary risk. So we're doing it for you.
Yeah, he's got to test negative for several days, and, hopefully his job is now mandated to be vaccinated.
Yeah, big news today in the world of, granted, this show will come out, next Wednesday, but
we'll have already had several insurgencies.
Already old news, but that Matrix trailer that came out today is pretty mind-blowing.
They're about to storm the Capitals over that Matrix trailer.
Neo is back, baby.
Is it Keanu?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss are back.
Oh man. You could have just said Carrie-Anne Moss. He had me there. So is he basically Lawrence Fishburne?
He's back, but playing Lawrence. He's back, but playing Morpheus.
Not okay. I would accept that as well, but I'd watch that. But no, is him gonna be to some kid
Oh yeah.
Hey, here's the here's the pills. Here's what's up.
Yeah, kind of like would that be a reboot or a remake or something if they just do the same story but it's someone else now?
A reimagining.
Probably
just a sequel, right?
No, it seems which to the director's benefit, it seems like not that at all. It's not. Huh. It's just a continuation of the story.
Okay.
Which opens
That's
the door.
Benefit, huh?
Yeah, opens the door of just oh, I have no idea what's happening. I've seen the trailer many times now, and I still don't quite understand what happened. And I also feel like I don't remember what happened at the end of the Matrix movies because I have not returned to Matrix Revolutions.
No, I think I saw that in theaters and never again.
Yeah, exactly. Just cool. I think I got it, or at least what I'm gonna get from it. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because wasn't that one they're actually in Zion or whatever? Mm-hmm. They're in the city and there's all kinds of people in there.
Yeah, Reloaded is the one with the highway chase and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's great.
All that cool stuff.
The twins.
Neo's flying. And then I think Revolutions is the one where there's a lot of Zion stuff, and then there's doesn't he fight a giant smith or something in the rain?
A giant smith?
Maybe that was in the video game or something. Does he fight a million smiths in the rain or something?
Maybe. You'd think basically after the first one, when he can just bend everything at his will, that's just you're just done. You can't really be stopped.
Well, that was what was so great about the first Matrix is you get to see he can stop bullets, and then
see the transformation
at the very end. He's on the phone in a phone booth, and then he flies away, and you're just oh my god, the possibilities of being the one.
Yeah.
And then you see the second movie, and it's well, it's still cool because he's he's flying around doing a bunch of stuff.
Effects are great.
And then by the third movie, you're just oh boy, he's still the one, but it's getting sweaty now.
Yeah.
A lot of Smiths.
Isn't he die to save? Isn't he? It's just straight up Narnia.
He dies, Aslan. And then there's a big cross lights up. It's very non-subtle with its metaphors. Wow. I think.
Okay.
I gotta watch that movie again. I don't remember.
I remember thinking that at the time. I don't remember the giant cross by tracks.
Yeah. And it's like the end of Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. He flies off into the sunset.
He spreads his arms, and Trinity yells, "Jesus!" All right, we'll see you guys next week.
So this is not your whatever Matrix podcast, whatever Josh says.
It's a TV pod, but let's switch up the roles. Josh is out, so I did the intro. Let's ask Jimmy. Jimmy, what is this podcast about?
I don't know. I usually check out when you say when you say the spiel. Yeah, it's a TV pod where we watch a completed series of TV. So we watch the pilot, and then we watch the series finale and nothing in between, and we speculate and make asses of ourselves. And if you've seen the show and you're clicking, and that's why you're clicking on this, and you haven't heard what this is, you are about to be so pissed.
So mad that we're just trashing.
We are going to destroy your favorite shows here at First and Last.
We like a lot of these shows, though.
Yeah, we do, but like so much of how we get there, I feel like so many of the details are like,
That's true. It does. When we talk to people about the shows we've done, a lot of the like grimacing comes from like, oh man, like I love that show, and you already seen the ending without seeing the whole show. Like you just like, ruined it for yourself.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing that we do.
It is.
Unless the show's bad, and then we save ourselves a lot of time.
So we mentioned last week that this is actually our 200th TV show that we're doing.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I forgot about that already.
Yeah.
Ooh, this better be a good one, Joe.
It's not our 200th episode because we've done a lot of other things. Like we do an award show. I think we've done some just like random Star Wars pods just because
we did the best of the decade.
Best of the decade, yeah.
And that was a 2-parter, so that's,
we should do a best of the 2020s this year.
Yeah.
Thus far.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Because what did we do? We did the
2010s, didn't we?
The 10 through 20? Yeah, that makes sense because it was 2020.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it's either that or start going back in time.
I guess we could. Yeah,
I could be
best
into
shows
that
of the
too.
2000s.
Oh, there's a lot of great ones.
Yeah. Anyways,
what are we doing?
Yeah, today's show, because we wanted to pick a special one for 200, is one that it's a big one, and I think we mostly have not done it based on streaming availability, but the TV gods have smiled upon us and provided us with HBO, which means that this week we're doing.
Oh man. Wait, we haven't done Friends yet?
We've never done Friends.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, now you're making me second guess. Like, have we done Friends?
No, I'm pretty sure we haven't, now that you say that. But, like, it's crazy. This many episodes we haven't done Friends, but...
Well, arguably, like, maybe the biggest show of all time.
Yeah.
In terms of just, like, ratings.
Well, yeah. Making money.
Yeah, making money, and also just like cultural relevance, just like good or bad.
Yeah.
Everybody who lived through the 90s has seen Friends.
Yeah.
I have a friend.
Yeah, you couldn't escape it.
Oh man. I have a friend who grew up in the Philippines and moved to the United States when she was about, I think, like, preteen, maybe 10 or 12, and she said that she like learned English through watching Friends.
Wow.
Like, obviously, like, she had learned enough English to like get through school and stuff, but like learning like pop culture and how to make jokes and like how to talk and be social, like she learned by just like learning the jokes that they made through Friends.
Oh man, it would have been amazing, like, talking to her as like
just like the sassiest 12-year-old.
You remind me of someone.
She just has the personality of Chandler as a 12-year-old.
I was thinking one of the female characters, but I guess that's on me. That's sexist. Yeah, just straight up making Joey like
Yeah.
dumb references.
She's just like, this is how Americans like to talk. It's just Joey Tribbiani.
Oh yeah, what if she picked Joey or Phoebe? Like, man, that would have been a bummer.
Yeah.
Base your personality on one of the clearly like just butts of every joke.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
Huge show. Never done it because it's. I mean, I think it's been on like Netflix here and there.
Oh
but
yeah.
For at some point it came off of streaming services, like in preparation of like being available on HBO. And HBO recently did a reunion show.
That's right.
Have you seen it?
I did not watch that. My wife did, and she watched it without me because I was not that interested or around. I don't remember.
For some reason, I thought that you were a big Friends head and have like seen all of it.
No, so okay. So I have seen all of it, but I've seen all of it because my wife and like her whole family quotes it for one thing, because that's what they do with like several of there's like a handful of shows that like especially her brother and dad just speak in lines of these shows.
Yeah.
And then we have another couple who are really close friends who them and my wife, when we're together, just speak in Friends jokes.
Yeah.
And then like berate me for not having seen it until I like sat down and watched it all.
Yeah,
But there's so much of it. I still don't get their jokes because I just watched hundreds of episodes of TV and you couldn't possibly remember all of that. So it's like, do I have to go through and watch all this again so I understand?
10 seasons, 236 episodes.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's a job.
Mm-hmm.
It's a job.
So you have seen all of it.
Yeah.
I've seen, like your average American, I've seen a good amount of it, but there also is like a random set of seasons somewhere in the middle where just like my sister had the DVDs and I think we were just like in the same household for a summer and we just watched Friends DVDs.
Nice.
So there's some like seasons like 6 through 7 or something that I've just seen all of it for some reason.
That's awesome.
But otherwise, like I've seen enough of it to be familiar with the characters, but I've never seen the end. I think I've actually seen the pilot, which I don't think really gives much away, but
right.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember what the pilot is. I think it's just them moving into what will be the sets of the entire show, basically, which is, classic sitcom.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to go back now and see, like, I'm sure these characters were super different in the first episode to even, like, the end of the first season.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, like, these characters are so defined within, once they get into the swing of things. I wonder if at the beginning they thought like Chandler was gonna be like the hot one or something.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I feel like their personalities, just thinking about it, I feel like the personalities are fairly set
from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. But there's got to be a little bit of growth over 10 years.
There's got to be at least a little bit of like, oh, this character or these types of jokes are hitting, so we're going to really lean on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Minimize some of the other parts of the character.
Yeah.
Ross had like a monkey in the beginning, didn't he?
He might. I think the monkey enters in at some point. I don't think I don't think from the pilot we're gonna get a monkey.
Okay.
Well, that'd be amazing though. I think that comes later, and is around for a while.
It seems like a horrible production decision. That's just let's just introduce an animal.
But what if Ross had a monkey? I mean, I feel like every sitcom that runs 10 seasons has some sort of monkey. They all have their monkey. Like, what if we just did this horrible idea for a while and see if it plays?
Yeah, we'll see if it plays. Let's see if it just makes the cast crazy.
The only thing. So wait. So how much of this have you seen? For sure, a couple middle seasons.
For sure, not the end, but tons of it.
Okay. So what I remember hearing that the reunion was pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to talk about that later. Just kind of a sad to watch. Yeah, we'll wait. I just wanted to.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Whew.
I mean, because what are those? It's basically Jennifer Aniston, and then like, I mean, Courtney Cox had a decent
Mm-hmm.
career after that, but like, what is she doing now? You know, probably been a while.
I don't know. Even if you were like, what's like the bottom tier of like Friends actors now? Like maybe Matthew
Perry. And that's what I was gonna say. Is I heard that he was pretty off the wall in that like maybe because I think he's been in and out of rehab and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. What I was gonna say is like, even if you're like, you know, bottom tier Friends character, you still made like billions of dollars off of Friends, so whatever. But like, yeah, like other life things happen, and like it's not all about money. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Fame will get you.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey man, I'll be there for you.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Especially when I start doing that blue meth.
That sky blue meth.
Or whatever it is.
All right. So I guess we'll, you know, pop in our VHS of Friends and see who's there for who.
See if we can get the tracking.
On the very first episode entitled
It's gotta be Pilot.
It's gotta be. But let me click on the Wikipedia. Legacy episodes Pilot. Or there's a secondary title, which I assume like this is the title that shows up on like the DVD. It says The One Where Monica Gets a Roommate.
Oh, right. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Because they're all titled The One Where, which is a trope in ever since. Right on. Okay.
So, yeah. Monica gets a roommate. We'll see y'all in a few.
And like 30 seconds of dropped music. Sweet.
And we're back from the pilot episode of Friends. I forget what it was called. Something about Rachel getting a roommate. Monica gets a roommate.
Yeah, the wiki says calls it lots of stuff. The pilot, also known as The One Where Monica Gets a Roommate, also known as the first one, also known as The One Where It All Began. Where did these all come from?
Yeah,
According to whom?
Those must be on like different DVD releases or something.
Yeah. Check the references.
Those are all true, though. It did all begin here.
Yeah. Okay, here's the synopsis, if you'd like. Otherwise, just skip forward like 30 seconds on Spotify or
if you
whatever.
have the first episode memorized.
At the Central Perk coffee shop, Monica is teased by her friends Phoebe, Chandler, and Joey about going out with someone and claiming it is not a date. Ross, Monica's older brother, arrives at the coffee shop upset that his lesbian ex-wife has moved out of their apartment to begin a new relationship with her partner. A young woman suddenly arrives wearing a wet wedding dress, whom Monica recognizes as her high school best friend, Rachel. Monica introduces her to the others as Rachel reveals she left her fiancé at the altar, realizing that she does not love him. After Rachel's father cuts her off financially over the phone, Monica reluctantly takes Rachel in as a new roommate. Meanwhile, Joey and Chandler, Chandler, also known as, man, that is a missed joke opportunity if they didn't use Chandler because they're roommates. Okay,
it's hilarious.
They console Ross while helping him assemble new furniture. Ross begins to wonder if any woman would be the right one for him. Monica goes on her first date with Paul, the wine guy, who confides in her that he has not been able to perform sexually since his wife left him. Monica is touched by his admission, and they sleep together. The next day, however, she learns from a coworker that Paul's story about his ex-wife is just a ruse to pick up women. After her attempts to get a job are unsuccessful, Rachel ends up buying a new pair of boots with one of her credit cards, which she admits her father pays for. Egged on by the group, Rachel reluctantly cuts up her credit cards to announce her independence. That night, Rachel and Ross talk, and he confesses that he once had a crush on her during high school. She admits that she knew. He asks if he can ask her out sometime, and she says yes. Ross leaves the apartment, feeling some newfound hope. In the final scene, the entire group are in Central Park having coffee with Rachel, who begins a new career as a coffee shop waitress.
Cool. So yeah, a lot happened in this episode.
Yeah.
Pretty action-packed, like 22 minutes or whatever it was.
Man, yeah.
Like not just like there was stuff that I guess I was surprised about how much plot building there was of just like setting up Ross and Rachel.
Oh man.
For just like a comedy show. There's just like a lot of plot building blocks there, but they also just like had a lot of time for like the side plot with like Monica and her date, and also just like jokes about Chandler.
Right. And Ross and his whole like dramatic situation.
Yeah. Very, deep backstories, or I guess deeper than I would have thought for just coming into the pilot. A lot of times you especially with 6 characters like this, you just sort of drop them in and we'll figure out their backstories later. But like,
right.
You already know kind of a lot of at least like the romantic past of Ross and Rachel, which is really what they're kind of setting up here. I didn't expect it to be so Ross and Rachel focused for the first episode.
Yeah, I did not realize that.
Mm-hmm.
That's they really give a lot of that away in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
That this is gonna be a thing.
Yeah. So Ross, again, being a recent divorcee, from his wife, who he had found out, or it seems like they had both found out that she's actually a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that was the end of their relationship, and Rachel about to get married and runs away from, she's a runaway bride, literally in like her wedding dress.
Yep. At the coffee shop.
Yeah.
How does she know they were going to be there?
She said something about like she was trying to find Rachel, and then the guy at Rachel's, or she was trying to find Monica, and the guy at Monica's apartment said that she works here, so
or she would be there, frequents there or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is still kind of I guess she had said something about like that her wedding was in the city and Monica was the only person that she knew that was in the city.
Right.
I guess if this was 2021, like she could probably text Monica and be like, yo, what you up to?
Where are you at, dog?
Yeah.
And then Monica could be like, hey, haven't heard from you in 10 years. Aren't you getting married today? Because I saw it on Instagram that you totally were. Wasn't invited.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, so that's a weird
lot going on
90s connection thing.
Right.
But yeah, that's an interesting setup of these two people obviously coming out of like intense relationships, now potentially starting up something new. It seems kind of early for both of them.
Right.
I mean, granted, they're not like
soon.
They're not dating yet. He hasn't even actually asked her out yet. He just asked like, would it be cool if I did ask you out?
Yeah.
But it still seems, I don't know, it's
even
just like
still, yeah.
Yeah.
Cuz it's been maybe a week over this episode?
Yeah, maybe.
I guess that's hard to tell, but so Rachel has moved in with Veronica at this point, who lives, by the way, who has a second bedroom just open for Rachel to move into.
Yeah, in her giant apartment in New York City.
As a chef. Must be some restaurant that she owns has this massive apartment.
Well, even if she does, like, she's still like has no like fiscal responsibility if she just lives here by herself and has an open bedroom.
Man, yeah. I wonder if they ever comment on that.
Maybe her previous roommate had just moved out or something, and she needed a new roommate.
Could be. And then they do say that, because the 4 like sets that I can think of are obviously the apartment's the big one. Central Perk is
Mhm.
the kind of the 1B.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Joey and Chandler's. Sorry,
Chandley.
Chandley.
place across the hall.
They already mentioned they live across the hall, but we never saw it. We
Yeah.
never went there yet. And then we spent time in Joey's new apartment where they're setting up
Ross's.
Ross's new. I don't even know who anyone is anymore.
Which I feel like, I mean, do we see more of Ross's apartment? I feel like I don't really remember seeing his apartment.
It becomes more of a thing
Okay.
in some seasons for sure.
Okay. But yeah, mostly Central Perk, Chandley's place, Monica's place. Those are kind of the key spots that you see in the show.
Yep. I think other than that, so we talked about like how well do they set up the characters, like how fleshed out are they?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like for the most part we got a lot of their personalities already. Like Chandler's just kind of a dick.
Yeah. He's the snarkiest one.
He's snarky, and we assume that's carries forward.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know that it does.
Yeah.
We don't know what he does.
No.
They spent time on some of the people's like professions, but not his, not Phoebe's. Obviously, Rachel didn't have a job. Now she works at the coffee shop. Not Ross's.
Yeah, we don't know. We know that he's nerdy, so we figured something nerdy.
Right. They briefly mentioned that Joey's an actor, like a regional actor, meaning like maybe he's not a very successful actor.
Yeah. And Joey is kind of a kind of a slut.
Yeah.
Or at least
He's a bachelor bro.
Yeah, he's a little chauvinist with the way that he speaks about women, and just like he literally compares them to ice cream flavors. It's just like, yeah, you got some with Jimmy's, you got some without, you got some with nuts.
Which in the 90s, to be fair, probably wasn't considered chauvinist.
Yeah.
It was normal. Normal bro behavior.
I for sure made untoward metaphors about women.
Ice cream metaphors. Just in general about other things.
Yeah. If I ever run for office, it's all over. It's all over.
If they ever find my Zanga page.
Yeah, if they ever find my Zanga, it's over.
Good times. Yeah, let's see.
Maybe we should touch on the characters. So so Chandler, snarky guy, Joey, kind of a broy. I mean, broy isn't really a word we had in the 90s, but like now you would kind of describe him as broy. Ross is a big nerd, but real nice guy. Like he's not really sure how to get out there and date.
Yep. But he has this like deep like drama side with all the stuff that's going on.
Rachel is also, they do show her as like nice. We're supposed to like her, but she is a little bit like a like material girl of like, she likes to shop. She doesn't really know what it's like to like have a job. She was, living off of her parents and was banking on this marriage to be able to live off her husband.
Classic.
But she's nice and she's pretty, so we like her.
And she's also, I mean, we also get she's got like a hysterical kind of drama vibe too.
Yeah, she's
kind of
very
crazy.
amped up.
Which you can like take a step back and see, okay, they're setting up like Ross and Rachel kind of they're a little bit
opposites.
Yeah. But also both kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, different kinds of crazy.
And then Phoebe is just weird. She's got her like,
she's a little bit of like kind of new age hippie.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the 90s word for that is. Maybe it's just new age, but
yeah. Granola. What did they say in the 90s? Yogi, probably back then it was just that was
she's quirky. She's adorkable.
Yeah.
And then there's Monica, who seems like the most normal character, actually.
Yeah.
It seems like she's just like...
She's the straight man.
Yeah, she's the straight man to all of this. She's out there dating. And yeah, I mean, for a show that's so very ensemble based, it almost seems like she's like the person who is the most... She's got the most like main character vibe of just like, man, dating in the 90s. Am I right?
Right.
Like
if someone's going to start like an inner monologue, it's going to be her. We're going to hear the like Doogie Howser voice. It's going to be Monica. Typing on her laptop.
Yeah, because everything's connected through her. I mean, you know, she's doing this. Yeah. She's got her own dating subplot, but also Rachel, who's new to the scene, is her high school best friend. Ross is her brother, and then Chandler are her neighbors.
Right.
So it's all connected through her. She's kind of like the hub, if not the main character.
Yeah, definitely. Like just watching this show in like passing throughout the decades, I never had that thought cross my mind.
That Monica might be the
Monica's
main
kind of a central, the central character.
Yeah.
Huh. Or the straight man, or you know, anything. I mean, like the weird the boyfriend thing, or not the weird date, you know, thing happens kind of to her, but it's not like a weird, crazy, off the wall thing. She's like, yeah, all this, and like Rachel's mess, it's all happening kind of to her.
Yeah, she's kind of the you know, kind of the entryway for the audience. Just like, what if, you know, some guy had said this to you on a date, or like, what if your high school like best friend just came back? How would you react to that?
How many dudes you think saw this pilot and totally,
like, that's a good line.
Absolutely use that, or even today are scrolling through HBO Max? Some Gen Xers are like, people haven't seen this old show. What is this dinosaur show? Now they're like, I'm using that.
I don't know.
Frat party.
I kind of thought about it, and it was just like, granted, I haven't dated in a long time, and when I was dating, I was not good at it.
Right.
I'm not the person to take dating advice from, but that seems like the opposite of like tact that I would take in dating, of just like, oh yeah, I can't perform when having sex.
My stuff doesn't work.
Yeah,
my stuff doesn't work
my
good.
junk, just so you know, not really working. That seems like the opposite
I'm
of something
a mess
that I would
down
say.
there. It's just a
whole lot of trauma, just not over my ex yet. Like, what? That doesn't seem like it would work.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why I, you know, maybe that's why my like dating wasn't as what's the word I'm looking for here? Just not as successful as I like wanted it to be at that time. It all worked out in the end.
Weird sympathy.
I came into dates like, yo, I'm super good at sex.
Everything down there totally works.
Totally works.
Does exactly what you want it to do. Here, look. Oh man. Okay, what else? I
think it's it. I was impressed by it all kind of tied together at the end. There were a lot of callbacks. When the show started, it kind of starts off with just 3 montages of just vignettes. Scenes, little vignettes. That's a good word to say it. Of just like, just the friends at Central Perk talking about a 90s, maybe not even a 90s thing, but just talking about a thing that friends talk about. They're talking about Chandler's dream, where he like was naked at school, but his ding dong was a phone. Like, and then they're talking about Monica and dating. It's just, and then they like cut to the next scene, and it's just like them hanging out.
Yeah.
But then by the end, it all kind of ties together, which is interesting.
Yep, that was cool. Yeah, there was no like cold open. There was almost like a cold ending credit scene, and so maybe that's the way they do it. I feel like there's cold opens though later.
Yeah, there's got to be one later.
There has to be, right?
I think for like the pilot, it's like you start out with the credits because you know, you're introducing the show.
Yep, the iconic theme. Probably should mention that.
Yeah, the theme song from right in the beginning.
Yeah.
What a home run hit of that. Like, I can't even imagine just like picking that theme song. It's so good and like so like catchy.
Yep, right off the bat, you won. You did it.
It could have been a terrible show, and as long as it had "I'll Be There for You" by Is it the Rembrandts?
The Rembrandts. Yep. I was trying to. Wasn't coming to me.
Like that show. Like you can get me to watch like Big Bang Theory with that theme song.
I have predictions.
Related to Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there. I'm trying to think if there's just anything else. There was a character, Franny, that's Monica's coworker who lets her in on Paul the wine guy's shenanigans, kind of unbeknownst to Franny, but I don't think she's a thing.
I
after this episode, probably.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I thought it was this. So they brought up like how Ross's ex-wife now is found out that she's a lesbian, and I just remember this a lot of jokes in this show not aging well, which is any 90s sitcom.
Sure, yeah.
A lot of gay jokes, a lot of fat jokes. That just watching, you're just grimacing, like no, no, thank you.
Was there anything you in particular you grimaced at in this first episode?
No, I was waiting.
Yeah,
I was
same. I was bracing for it, but like didn't quite hit.
Yeah, which is good.
There were a couple of things of just like the with Ross's wife being gay, they make jokes about it, but it's pretty light at this point of just like maybe like the most questionable one was like when they're at Ross's place and he like pulls out a beer and he's like, oh, this is her favorite beer. She would just like drink it straight out of the can. He's like, oh, maybe I should have known. Just like lesbians drink out the can.
Yeah.
Like, which is that's a funny joke, I think. Even today. I don't know.
Compared to where it goes, like that's fine. It's the Subaru of gay jokes. It's just like, okay, it's fine. That's the thing.
It's got 4-wheel drive. It'll get us through the winter.
That's a Midwest joke right there. Cool. All right. Well, you got predictions?
Yes. So again, I have not seen the finale.
Right.
Or like anything near like the last season or so, but I assume like they gotta put prediction number 1. They gotta put Ross and Rachel together at the end. Like they gotta end up together. Like there's gonna be riots if they don't do it.
Right. So what are you doing?
I'm gonna take the easy points there and say Ross and Rachel do end up together. I bet that it's not like I bet they don't end up together until like the last few episodes. I bet it's still a will they won't they until like the end. I think the final scene in the show is at Central Perk. I just think that in a lot of shows would end at like, the apartment or the house or whatever. But I think just the coffee shop was so central to this show that the very final scene is at Central Perk. I think that Phoebe sings a song earnestly. I know that she's known to sing in the show, and that she even sang a little bit in this first episode of just like just singing things that were happening. Right. Trying to get her to stop, but like I think she sings like an earnest song and people are like touched by it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And then my last one is that Joey cries. Like maybe hit Phoebe's song. But I just think that he's the least likely person to like feel feelings based on this first episode, but I think by the end here they full on make him cry.
I love it. Make Joey cry. Hashtag. Totally random. Have you ever seen then? I don't think we've done this because it would be weird to do Joey, the spinoff.
I know I've not, but
I haven't
wasn't
either.
Successful, right?
There's probably one season. I'd be amazed if there was more. Okay, my number 1. So I have seen this finale. I could tell you maybe like generically big points. So I just went pretty off the walls here. So just number 1 is bringing hot dog back. Somebody eats a hot dog.
Cool.
Probably Joey. I feel like a lot of his jokes in this first episode were just around eating.
Full on hot dog or like veggie dog?
That's gotta
dog.
be
Some veggie dogs have 7 grams of protein. It's pretty crazy.
Gotta get your protein,
Yeah.
How much? Okay, well, if a veggie dog has 7 grams,
Yeah.
how much does a normal hot dog have?
Like maybe 6.
Really?
Because it's just, I mean,
more
depending on the type
packet?
of hot dog you're getting, like a lot of hot dogs are just like entrails and like whatever random meats you can
Whoa.
throw in, right?
That's a good point. Just compressed like intestines of
Yeah.
some animal.
So it's just like ligaments and fat. That's what you want.
That's what you want.
That's what you want. You just want it to like feel good and mushy and like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And raw.
So that's why it's surprising that like a veggie dog has like actual protein in it. It's just like, I thought this was just going to be like filler.
Yeah. It's like way more of a food.
Yeah.
It's almost too much. Okay, number 2. I was going to say octopus monster, but this isn't that kind of show, so I just said octopus.
Octopus.
Maybe
Regular
they
octopus.
eat I don't know, calamari squid, right?
Yeah.
So not that. But maybe that.
Yeah, maybe at Monica's restaurant, she cooks up an octopus.
Ooh. I love it. Number 3. Okay, here's my thing, call back to Big Bang, is I want a slow jam of I'll Be There For You.
Oh, wow.
Right, because there was a slow jam of the
Big Bang
Bare Naked Ladies song, theme song.
Man, if they pulled that
which
off.
was dope. I remember loving that in Big Bang. So if I loved anything at Big Bang, that's what okay.
Oh, slow I'll Be There For You. Wow.
I want it. Let's hear it. And then number 4, I think Chandler Explains a Dream.
Okay.
Because that's my one bookend, because that's how they bookend this episode, is he starts explaining a dream to them again at Central Perk. So
great. I hope it's just like a really jarring dream or something. It's like a sex dream about Ross or something.
Nice. I'll take it. I'll take that point.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Well, that's it. So the finale is it's not a 2-parter, but it's a, double
length
hour-long episode. I'm pretty sure it's called just The Last One, but my Wikipedia is failing me now.
Yeah, according to IMDb, that's what it's called.
All right, The Last One.
04.
Aired in May 6, 2004. So yeah, there's a special here listed. Oh, that must be. Oh,
is that the recent thing?
No, it's not. On Wikipedia it says specials number 2 and 3, the one with all the other ones. That must be some sort of clip show. Also aired on May 6, 2004.
Oh. Probably immediately following. I'm sure there was a 3-hour Friends night when this.
Yeah, it's got to be. But yeah, so we're not watching that, just the last one, which had 52.46 million viewers.
Damn, that's insane.
Yeah, can you
whoa,
based on population numbers now, it's like a sixth of the United States population.
Why did they even end this? Can you imagine in 2004, even the episodes leading up to it, 22 million people.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're just making money.
There's a lot of eyeballs.
Can you imagine going from that to just being on meth? I guess they probably knew it was the last season, because there's some middle seasons that don't have nearly as many viewers.
Yeah, that's true. They did sell this as this is the end of Friends.
Watch this. We're gonna need this money for the rest of our lives.
All right, so we'll see you guys after the last one. And we're back from the finale of Friends.
And we back.
Entitled The Last One, Season 10, Episode 17, 46 minutes, TV PG, 2004 HD, 5.1 sound.
Are you reading? Oh my God.
Yeah, the HBO says, the 6 friends say goodbye and embark on the next chapters of their lives.
Huh.
Which I've never heard them referred to as the 6 friends.
The 6 friends. Apparently, I think it was something like 6 friends was one of the pitched titles to this show.
No, Six Friends.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
And then they just said, Friends.
Friends. Friends is way better than Six Friends.
Yep.
It's just hard to say, Six Friends.
And one title was going to be like the name of the coffee shop, but it wasn't Central Perk. It was something else.
That would have been not quite as good.
Which, like, okay, I get it. But, yeah.
It's just Friends.
Yeah, iconic. Keep it simple.
Even Six would have been better than Six Friends.
Six.
Just Six.
Hmm.
The Six.
I think I saw a band called Six one time.
Monica and her friends.
Monica's pals.
Monica and friends.
Monica will be there for you. Okay, here's the write-up. This is part 1 and 2, so we'll try to keep it short, but, you know. So Phoebe and Joey pack the belongings of Monica and Chandler, who apparently are married, who have accompanied Erica to the hospital. Rachel leaves Ross's bedroom after their apparent reunion in the previous episode. Erica gives birth to twins, much to the surprise of Monica and Chandler, who were expecting one child. At his apartment, Joey shows Phoebe his housewarming gift for Monica and Chandler, a chick and duckling to replace the ones that died. Ross arrives and confesses to the pair that he slept with Rachel. Rachel emerges from the bedroom and, to his disappointment, tells Ross that their night together was the perfect way to say goodbye. Ouch. Later at the Central Perk Cafe, Phoebe convinces Ross to tell Rachel how he feels about her before she leaves for her new job in Paris. As he is about to tell her, Central Perk manager Gunther confesses his love for Rachel. Back at Monica and Chandler's apartment, Ross decides not to tell Rachel for fear of rejection. She prepares to leave to catch her flight, but waits long enough for Monica and Chandler to return with the twins, named Erica, after the biological mother, and Jack, after Monica's father. After Rachel leaves, Ross has a change of heart, and Phoebe takes him in her taxi to follow Rachel to the airport. And that's part 1.
Mm-hmm.
So part 2, which was great. That was fun. It's just like, we're doing it. Adventure time. I was hooked.
There's a lot cooking, yeah.
Joey returns to his apartment to fetch the chicken duck he was hiding, but finds they've become trapped in the foosball table. So this is like the B plot is. So now Chandler and Joey are deciding they need to break open the table, but they can't break their table. So then Phoebe's reckless driving gets her and Ross to the JFK airport, and after buying a ticket to pass security, they search the information boards for Rachel's flight number. They cannot locate her flight, and so Ross calls and checks the number with Monica, but discovers they are at the wrong airport. So Ross and Phoebe drive to JFK while Rachel is flying out of the Newark airport. Phoebe phones Rachel, who has already boarded her flight, to stall for time. And when a passenger overhears Phoebe saying there's a problem with the fictitious left phalange, he gets off the plane and everyone else gets off the plane. Joey and Chandler, who are emotionally attached to the foosball table, finally are unable to break it down, but Monica does gleefully with a crowbar and mallet. After they retrieve the birds, Chandler suggests Joey keep them, and the two reaffirm their friendship with a hug. Phoebe and Ross arrive at the airport as Rachel boards the plane again. Ross tells her he loves her, but she's unable to deal with this confession and gets on the plane anyway. A dejected Ross returns home to find a message from Rachel on the phone where she explains her actions, and as she does it, decides to get off the plane. At first, a flight attendant is trying to force her to sit down. The message cuts off, and Ross frantically tries fixing the answering machine, wondering out loud if she got off the plane. From behind him, Rachel appears and says she did, and they get back together for good. The following morning, the friends gather in Monica and Chandler's empty apartment and reminisce about how all of them had lived there at one point. With some time remaining before Monica and Chandler leave for their new house, the six all leave their keys to the apartment on the kitchen counter, decide to go for one last cup of coffee together, to which Chandler sarcastically quips, "Where?" And they all laugh as they head down the hallway. The final shot shows the empty apartment, slowly panning around the living space at the front door as Jefferson Airplane's embryonic journey plays. I don't think that's what we heard.
I wouldn't know what that sounds like.
I doubt it. I'm pretty sure they did not have the HBO doesn't have the rights to Jefferson Airplane because it was like an open tuning acoustic guitar jam. I mean, maybe. I'll have to look it up, but I did not sound like anything from the 60s to me.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep. The end. Forever.
Yeah. I mean, pretty action packed. Again, like the premiere or the pilot. But then, granted, this one had 2 episodes to work it out in. The big overall things are, if I just go friend by friend, so Monica and Chandler are having their baby, which they find out are twins, and they're also moving out of their apartment, which is like kind of the big thing for everyone. Ross and Rachel had like a get back together hookup, and Ross is trying to at least get back together. Mm-hmm. And then Joey and Phoebe are just kind of like hangers on for like those 2 plot points. Yep. Which is fine, I think. A
lot going on.
I think they both kind of serve the same kind of role where like Joey is a little bit of the like kind of comic relief for a little bit of the sentimental things that like Chandler and Monica are working through, and then Ross and Rachel is obviously like the biggest dramatic thing, and like Phoebe's the perfect foil for that, for like kind of keeping that fun.
Yep. Keeping that light.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me was just like that I was right that they ended up putting Ross and Rachel together again at the end.
She got off the plane.
Yeah. But also just that like, it kind of worked out like I thought it would, where it wasn't like a Jim and Pam thing where it's like, there's a little bit of will they, won't they, but like towards the end of the season, last few seasons, like they're already together, like they're not digging you around anymore. Where it's like literally with Ross and Rachel, it's like up to the last minute, you're like, are they getting back together? I don't know. And like you can, like the way that the live studio audience is reacting to like the like twists and turns to the Ross and Rachel story, that are like cheering and like gasping at things happening, and like Rachel gets back on the plane, they're just like, oh no.
Yeah. They did a good job of like keeping you hanging on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's like, I can't imagine a TV show today playing it quite like that. I mean, granted, there's a lot less multicam shows like this that are like shot in front of a live studio audience, so it's like kind of a different vibe. But just the fact that they're I mean, even though it's a live studio audience, it's not a play. They're still editing this stuff together and doing multiple takes, right? So when you hear stuff like people gasping in the audience or people like cheering and stuff, you know that like the producers want this in the cut of the show. So they want you to feel this like jubilation that the crowd is feeling when they're like getting back together, and they want you to like clap along with them. Like it kind of feels like they like produced it almost like a sporting event, just like that you're up and down and like, oh no, is it gonna happen?
I never really thought about that it's live, but they definitely do more than one take. So do they use, like, obviously like the crowd probably doesn't gasp the same as the very first time, you know? Are they recording that stuff and editing that together later so they get that good first gasp?
I would think that they, you know, they hope that like the first take is the best and they can just take the full first take. But if they don't, they have mics set up for the audience so that like they can get that first gasp if that's the best one that worked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They did it.
That was I mean, the Monica stuff again was kind of the anchor, but the Ross and Rachel stuff, kind of like the premiere, was like kind of the driving force. The
Mhm.
So they had hooked up like previous episode, but Ross is like wanting to really get back together. Rachel is not so much. And then they go through this thing where Ross is going to chase her down at the airport, but then they end up at the wrong airport, which is something I didn't see coming. Like that that twisted me around, that like Ross and Phoebe
done.
made it there to the airport, but it was the wrong airport. So they go to the other airport. They end up being able to talk to Rachel, but Rachel still decides in getting back on the plane after Ross's confession. And then like this just like a really interesting, like, again, early 2000s way of playing this, of Ross goes home and like just hits play on his answering machine, which is like
what you do when you get home.
Which like anyone like Gen Z right now is just like, what the fuck is an answering machine?
There's a cassette tape in there.
You mean your Google Home? What's an answering machine?
Right.
But yeah, because Rachel from her cell phone, her like Nokia cell phone, called Ross, who apparently doesn't have a cell phone, just like called him on his home phone.
No, he totally does, because they called her from it.
They called from Rachel's phone, or from Phoebe's phone.
Oh, from Phoebe's phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That was smart.
Yeah. So Ross either didn't have his phone on him or just doesn't have one, and so Rachel left a voicemail. Is it still called a voicemail? Left a message on his answering machine, where she's saying like, she's apologizing, saying like, sorry, I couldn't do it, blah 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 blah. Like, I just gotta go do this thing, and then she realizes she actually does love Ross, and
she
then
talks herself out of
and kind of talks herself out of it, and like Ross is reacting to the answering machine,
which
like,
is
and
just
like
classic.
and it gets cut off before he can hear whether she got off the plane. And then of course she shows up at the door like saying, yeah, I did get off the plane. And it's like, man, like that's such a like great like live moment. Like the crowd was like eating it up too. It's just like
Me too.
yeah. It totally worked.
Ross like yelling at the answering machine like it's happening. This is classic.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, if you're gonna like, mess around like that back and forth of this like will they won't they thing, like this is a great way to like play it to the end, and the end like still have it pay off.
Yeah,
like it didn't feel fake or forced. Or I guess the thing that I wondered about is like it seemed like they had gotten together during the course of the show. I wondered like why did they break up previously? I'm
trying to remember. Well, because he was about to get married to someone at some point, and then he said Rachel in the wedding. And I was remembering the wedding and thinking like, oh, it's a sitcom, and I was thinking this ended in their wedding, but totally wrong. Once we were watching the episode, I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is all familiar. But yeah, before that they had been together, and then they were like, on a break. Like he threw that joke in there.
He alluded to it.
Classic. Like everyone was waiting for that. And then he ended up sleeping with someone, like, and he was like incredibly sad the whole time, and like, but ended up kind of desperately sleeping with someone, and then it became this running like thing. When they were doing their will they won't they, where she's like throwing that in his face and he's saying, but we were on a break. So they had been together, but I don't know if they'd been together like after he was engaged or not, or if this is kind of the first time again.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there was like an actual reason why they broke up that like that would lead to in this finale with them getting back together. It's like, hey, like, but there's still this big issue between you like two hanging. That like, but if it was the type of thing where like they were on a break and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I feel like it was just kind of mostly just always Rachel in her own head about stuff.
Okay. She didn't want to like
commit
how I
remember
to this or something. Or...
Yeah.
Okay. So if she decided to change her life plans and not go to Paris, then maybe she's on board now too.
sometimes she's just making big plans and she realizes in the middle of them.
She's got a jet. Oh my gosh, Rachel.
Classic Rachel. What else? Oh, so there wasn't the funeral or a wedding trope.
Yeah.
But they did move out of the
apartment.
Apartment.
They cleared out of it,
which should have. I mean, if I had thought of that as a prediction, I would have realized that was I had seen that before. So.
Mm-hmm.
But so I can't believe you didn't get it, Joe. That's what I'm really saying.
They're moving out of Monica's apartment.
Also, so there was a dino joke that Joey threw in there because Ross is a paleontologist. Did you know that?
I feel like I knew that I knew that he worked in a museum or something.
Yeah, something like that. He often would throw in there that he's a paleontologist. We had Paul Rudd. He was in part 1.
Oh yeah.
Who I'm pretty sure is Phoebe's boyfriend.
In
the last season or so. So that's super fun. A young Paul Rudd.
Yeah, he's the 7th friend.
Oh man. And that's just a get right there.
Yeah.
Young Paul Rudd. Man.
Get.
Who wouldn't want to date that? And he looks the same.
Yeah, exact same.
With longer hair. Oh, you know what? One thing I should have guessed that I didn't was Joey's catchphrase. You know Joey's catchphrase?
Is it how you doing?
Yeah.
Did he say it in this?
He didn't.
Oh, okay.
But had I thought of it, that would have been a good guess. But he did not say it.
No, not really
Didn't
much
hit on
for
a single
catchphrases. I don't think in this episode. Some callbacks for sure, but that's about it.
Yeah. One maybe callback is so Phoebe, she didn't maybe sing any super earnest songs, but she did sing a lot because she was trying to make this whole thing a musical.
Yeah.
And then Paul Rudd says when Monica and Chandler bring their babies home, he's like, let's make those things. And she's like, let's make a bunch of them and become the Von Trapps. Which in the pilot, she's singing Favorite Things.
Oh, yeah, she does from Sound of Music.
Which is what, Julie Andrews
kind of
is singing.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it was probably coincidence, but, pretty fun.
Turns out Phoebe only knows one musical.
She just drops it all the time and sees if anyone will notice.
Yeah.
But yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, very of the time, but I think I was entertained without having seen a lot of the show. I was there for the ups and downs, and and it all was just kind of like, it was a 46-minute episode, but there weren't parts that were like, man, I don't know what this is, or like, I feel like there's a lot of times with these first and last that get stuck in weird side plots that like you don't really know or care about.
Right.
Whereas like all of this is just like, no, it's like core critical stuff. Monica and Chandler are having babies.
Yeah.
And Ross and Rachel, who you've known this entire show, are like trying to see if they can get back together. It's like, yeah. I mean, if this was an action show or something, it's like the world is exploding. Like,
right.
You must care about all of this.
Jack Bauer saving the world one more time. Yeah, even Joey, he's got some nostalgia stuff going on with his place, and they're so for a while they had a duck and a chicken in their apartment, and so that's what that whole vibe was about. And they play a lot of foosball. I
do remember the foosball table. Yeah.
So that's his nostalgia. That's his depth of character.
So yeah, that's good. I mean, I don't know that you could really ask for more of a Friends finale. Like, it's not really the type of show where you need, like, where it's gonna necessarily be remembered for like, man, what a great finale. But like, I don't know that you could have done more with a Friends finale than what they did.
Right.
So. kudos.
High praise. 200th episode. Well,
Yeah.
not episode. Show that we did.
Definitely, I mean, a lot of ways that they could have gone wrong with this and pissed a lot of people off. Like, big one is like Ross and Rachel not getting back together.
Right.
Or just, maybe nothing ends up happening with the group of friends and they're just sort of staying together and hanging out in the apartment. Like, they could have been anticlimactic or something wacky, or it's like they're not even really friends anymore. It's like 3 separate storylines, but like just that they're, it's kind of textbook where it's just like you tie up the will they won't they, you send the main characters off on their own adventures, even though they're doing stuff together a lot, but know that they still have this bond. Like, that's it. You nailed it.
They did like just enough. Because some shows, they tie up too much.
Yeah.
This at least left like, okay, well, now Ross and Rachel kind of starting over. Monica and Chandler kind of going and starting their life.
Yeah, it's gonna be different, but they're still friends. Like,
yeah, they'll still be there for you.
Yeah, when the rain starts to fall.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah,
and we didn't hear one gay joke or fat joke, so I feel like
real solid. At least stuck to just Joey not getting things jokes. Real good. Cool, solid ending. Probably not gonna watch it. Probably not gonna pick up Friends.
Yeah, it is a haul. I didn't realize though. So there's only 17 episodes of the last season. That's kind of strange.
A little strange, yeah. Well, granted, this episode 17 probably counted for 2 in like the production count.
Right, that's true.
But yeah, it is shorter than the other seasons. I wonder if that was just like budget, like it just became expensive to pay all these actors for episodes.
Gosh, I can't imagine.
Shortened season.
Because they were all like had become pretty big.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
most of them
all
had
movie
their own
stars.
careers already by this.
Mm-hmm.
Because Courtney Cox had like her Screams.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably it, I guess. By 2004,
I mean, like Matthew Perry had some like rom-coms.
Yeah,
like,
he had like his whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
that was
Lisa
huge.
Kudrow had some comedies. I mean, obviously Jennifer Aniston,
Michelle,
biggest movie star out of all of them.
Yeah. Which makes sense. She's the best.
So you have, 4 movie stars, and then even with the other 2, it's like you're not going to be able to make this show without Ross or without Joey even. So it's like, like you're going to pay Ross to like keep doing this show.
Right.
Even though he's like not as big a name as the others.
Right.
So
he may not be getting as much, but he's getting his cut.
Mm-hmm.
Joey, they could have maybe gotten away with.
Yeah, exactly. They could have. With that, it's more of just like, let's just keep everybody happy and keep, what's his name? Joey.
Matt LeBlanc.
Let's keep Matt LeBlanc in the cast and not rock the boat.
Isn't his whole thing like he was like totally broke when he got cast for this?
Oh, I bet.
I'm pretty sure he has a thing about how he had like $8 to his name or something.
Jeez.
Just throwing headshots around. Somebody pick me up. But you can't like imagine anyone else in that role. And then he, of course went on to do Joey.
Of course.
Which I never did look up to see how long it was, but clearly it was canceled quickly. And then he did episodes, which you guys did.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. And Kudrow, she did that HBO show. We should do that one. While we have access to HBO. The Comeback something.
For which one?
Lisa Kudrow.
Oh, yeah, I don't really know.
I think it was a few seasons.
I was trying to look up salaries for like.
Ooh, that would be interesting. Plus inflation.
Yeah, plus inflation.
And even Schwimmer has like come around because he was kind of not around for a long time, but then he did that OJ show.
Salary.
Doing the salaries. So David Schwimmer, yeah.
What
I did love him in so he was in that OJ show, and then he was in Band of Brothers, which is an HBO, but it was a mini series. I don't know if it really counts for this.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, World War II shows, you kind of know how it ends. But he was great in that. He played like just a total opposite character from Ross, so that took me off guard.
So, from what I can tell from the internets here, it looked like the cast salaries were like pretty equal.
Oh, okay.
It says
even for the women?
Yeah. It says that
not to be.
I mean, it's fair, very fair. You're paid $75,000 per episode in season 3, $85,000 in season 4, $100,000 in season 5, $125,000 in season 6, and then $750,000 in seasons 7 and 8.
What per episode?
Per episode, and then $1 million in seasons 9 and 10, making Aniston, Cox, and Kudrow the highest paid TV actresses of all time.
Holy balls!
$1 million per episode.
How much money
for the last 2 seasons?
That you can throw up that kind of money.
That must be billions and billions of dollars. Yeah, but yeah, so they're paid equally. So yeah, even Matt LeBlanc is getting the same that Matthew Perry or Jennifer Aniston is getting, because you need all 6.
Yeah,
the 6 friends.
Yeah. That's amazing. Can you imagine? Okay, you started a sitcom with 6 adults, pretty like we said, Monica's kind of like the kind of central, at least in that opening.
Mm-hmm.
But like, these are all like, you need them all. They all play a specific role, and that's a lot of characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For a sitcom, it's not just like a dad that you're following and his goofy family or whatever. Like most sitcoms are kind of built around a couple. Like, they hit on all 6 of these actors to drive that kind of money for 10 seasons.
Yeah, they each play a part. You can't, as much as like you can have other, you can try to fill in Paul Rudd for Matt LeBlanc, but it would be a different show.
Man, how much you think he was making? Like $100?
Yeah, he gets a free sandwich when he shows up.
Oh man, Matt LeBlanc's making $1 million an episode. Holy balls!
Oh, man.
It's pretty dope. Also, I did look, in that final song was actually "Embryonic Journey" by Jefferson Airplane.
Okay.
Instrumental. Very surprising to me.
Yeah, they did it.
Very awesome.
Is that supposed to be like a baby reference, Embryonic Journey? Or?
Yeah, it's I guess. It's just about the birthing.
Yeah.
Babies were born in this episode. Oh yeah, did we say Anna Faris was Erica, by the way?
Oh yeah, Anna Faris was the
a young Anna Faris.
Was the surrogate mother for Chandler and Monica, and then Jim Rash from Community was like Rachel's like seatmate on the plane.
That was awesome.
I like recognized him immediately, but I couldn't place from where, because he just looked slightly different. But yeah, it's pretty funny.
I had something with that, but I forgot. There was a lot of big names in this series over time, though.
I can imagine.
Tom Selleck. Did you see any of the Tom Selleck stuff?
Maybe
Monica
that's like
dated
Monica's.
him.
Yeah,
Monica dated a bunch of people. She dated Jon Favreau
in
this for quite a while. What's his name? Elvis Costello was in this like a couple times, like playing music in Central Perk. So it was fun.
Cool. That's fun. Yeah.
Friends.
Friends. They are the Friends. They did it. I can't wait for like the reboot. It's just another group of 6 friends. No relation to it's like Ross's kids or something, and they're friends.
It's gonna happen, isn't it? The money's just there waiting.
A gritty reboot of the Friends.
The money. That's who's singing this song. That's who will be there for them.
The money.
The money will always be there for them.
Man, just like imagine just making
Those
$1
royalties.
million a week.
What are the royalties on this?
Probably pretty good.
You think that alone, you'd never really have to work again?
Yeah. I mean, if you're in the Rembrandts, hell yeah. Every time they play this song.
I don't know. Sometimes musicians get pretty ripped though. Where like
yeah, the
were
record
pretty
label
stoked to sell this song for like a couple grand,
Yeah.
and now they're like, "Damn it!"
The record label or whoever worked out the distribution deal, they made some bank off the Friends
for
theme
sure.
song.
Somebody's
It might not have been the actual
agent.
artist. Yeah.
right.
Cool.
How'd you do in your predictions?
I feel like not as well as I thought I would have.
You got
I
one.
thought I had some home runs. So I had Ross and Rachel do end up together, which is true. Together forever and never depart.
Yep.
The final scene is at Central Perk, which was close because they mentioned going to Central Perk,
I
but
might give you half a point for that
half because they're going there.
because they said that's what they were doing.
Yeah. If they were to actually
Chandler made a
shoot that
snarky
scene,
joke
it's
about
just
it.
like a anticlimactic scene of them just sipping coffee, like awkward silence.
Just
They don't
quietly sip, like the end of that Avengers movie
Yeah.
where they're all eating the shawarma.
really know. Yeah, they're just like, we already said goodbye upstairs.
Oh, God.
Just sitting there.
I would pay good money to see that scene filmed. Just like
That would have been a great like post credits thing. Just just
after the
drinking.
reunion episode. Just like just kind of sad and tired.
I had Phoebe sings a song earnestly, which had
Mm.
me going because she was singing, but she never got to sing a song.
The show got earnest,
real.
but she never got there.
Yeah,
Didn't
she
keep the
did.
bit going.
And then my last one was that Joey cries, which
Mm.
he had his moments, and there were times where he like faux cried, but like it wasn't really. He was just saying like, "Oh man, I'm gonna miss you," but like he's not really.
Yeah.
So 1.5 then.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not 0.
Yeah.
Which is what I have. Because there were no hot dogs. There were no octopi. No slow jams of the theme song. Just some Jefferson Airplane.
Mm-hmm.
And Chandler did not explain a dream. Yeah.
No. He doesn't sleep anymore.
No sleeping. He's got babies
He's
now.
got twins. Yeah.
There's no sleeping. From what I understand.
Yeah. So 0.
0.
You don't know this finale at all. You don't know this show at all.
Yeah, if you were to ask my wife and our friends, I still don't know this show after watching all of it.
Yeah. Do it up again. Start it over. It's all on HBO.
The problem is, well, A, that it's 10 seasons long, and that's just a job.
Yeah.
Like, I'd probably be more apt to start Frasier over than Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that for me, like, in those middle seasons, that was work, because it is not great in the middle.
Frasier?
Yeah, where Frasier's just he's just like single and kind of a douche.
Uh-huh.
And you've got the Daphne Niles stuff. But like that can only keep you for so long.
Sure.
But then it picks back up again. Yeah, it's just actually honestly, I just want to watch Community now after seeing the Dean.
After seeing the Dean.
That's really the play here, I think. That's what I've learned tonight. Well,
kind of a timely like reference to this. I saw this thing on Twitter this week of it was a like TV promo for NBC, like a couple weeks after 9/11.
Ooh. Okay.
Because it was like they had like taken a break from like playing, I guess, like news shows or whatever, and like delayed their like season premieres.
Sure.
But their season premieres were gonna happen in like late September. So this
Okay.
promo was just like, America's been through a tough time, and like now
God.
we're coming back, and like it's time to laugh again.
Oh.
And it's just like a bunch of
jeez.
like behind the scenes footage of like the cast of Friends just kind of like looking solemn.
Oh my God.
And like Frasier and stuff, yeah. And the whole thing was just like, you were sad about 9/11, and now like please just like watch our shows again. let's get back to the funny business.
Yeah, is this cool to do this now?
Yeah,
is now a good time for this?
Good. All our shows are based in New York. You guys gonna be cool with that?
Right. Are we past this? A lot of pictures of these towers in these shows.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Never forget. Always remember.
I'll be there for you. Okay, we should probably
we're out
go.
of things. So we're supposed to tell people about where to find us, and you like,
Oh yeah.
we're on Twitter and
Yeah.
Instagram. Actually, we're probably not on Instagram, huh?
I think we have one. I don't know
It's
if we've
probably
ever done
registered,
anything with
but
it.
like, okay.
Yeah.
So
the FB.
I think Twitter is F&L podcast.
Yep.
Gmail is probably the best way to make requests and things. fandlpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
Send us your requests or demands or
Like and subscribe.
critiques. Also, yeah, like and subscribe wherever you find us.
Oh yeah, there's a YouTube too.
There's a YouTube.
Yeah, if you review and then leave your comments in the review for show suggestions, we'll probably see those too.
Yeah, we'll probably do a show in there. Honestly, I'm running out of ideas, so please help me out
Hit us up.
and let us know what to do, because we'll probably just do that from now on, at least for when I need shows.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Josh isn't here to say goodbye to us, so we don't know how to do it.
Good night. Good luck. Smell you later.